everyone. So today we are going to talk about our next topic of digestive system, which is digestion in intestine. So it is important as it can be asked in exams. So let's start. So firstly, we'll see how the different kind of juices mix with the food. If you're talking about the digestion in intestine. So first, let's talk about the movement in muscularis layer. So we have already talked about the layers of alimentary canal, and that is a muscularis layer that move, contract, and helps in the proper mixing of the food with the different kind of digestive juices for the better digestion process. So the movement in the intestine that are in muscular layers, because the muscularis is having the smooth muscles. Now we'll talk about the different kind of juices which are being present in intestine. So first let's talk about the liver. So as we know that liver is having two lobes, and liver forms the bile juices. As we know that the bile is being stored and concentrated in the gallbladder, and this gallbladder has a cystic duct, hepatic duct, and they'll form the common bile duct. That common bile duct get fused with the duct of pancreatic duct to form the hepatopancreatic duct. So bile from gallbladder and pancreatic juice from pancreas, both of them are poured into the duodenum, which is the first part of the intestine, with the help of the hepatopancreatic duct. So now there are, if you are talking about the juices which are being present in intestine, so there are three kind of juices which are present in the intestine. First it's the intestinal juice itself, second is bile, and the third is the pancreatic juice. So we have to talk about all these juices one by one. Let's talk about the pancreatic juice first. So pancreatic juice is having trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, and the procarboxypeptidases. So all these enzymes are in inactive form. So if you're talking about the trypsinogen, it is a proenzyme, it is also in the inactive form. If you're talking about the chymotrypsinogen, it is also in the inactive form. And if you're talking about the procarboxypeptidases, so it is also in the inactive form. And there are also amylases, lipases, and the nucleases in pancreatic juice. So now the question is how these proenzymes are being activated or are converted into the active enzymes. So now let's going back to the intestine. So intestinal mucosa is secreting enzymes which is called the enterokinase, and this works on the trypsinogen and convert it into the trypsin. So now this trypsin activate all the other enzymes, like it converts chymotrypsinogen into chymotrypsin, and it converts carboxypeptidase into the carboxypeptidase. So this is how these these enzymes are being activated. So these enzymes, these three enzymes like trypsin, chymotrypsin, and carboxypeptidase are responsible for the digestion of the protein. And we have talked that there are amylases, lipases, and nucleases in the pancreatic juice. So what is the role of amylase? So amylase will help in the digestion of carbohydrate. Lipase emulsifies the fats, and the nucleases will attack on nucleotides or nucleic acid polymers to digest into the monomers. So now we have talked about the pancreatic juice. We'll talk about the bile juice now. So as we have aware of the fact that bile is having bile pigments, which are bilirubin and biliverdin. It is also having bile salts, phospholipids, cholesterol. But one thing you should have to keep in mind, that bile is not having any kind of enzyme. So what can be the role of bile in the digestion then? So bile act on the lipases, which converts the lipids and which digests the lipids, and the bile the role of bile is on the lipase is that it activates the lipase, so that the lipases convert the digest the lipids. So this is the only role of bile. Now we'll talk about the intestinal juice. So in intestine, submucosal glands are present, and which are called as the Brunner's gland. So in mucosal region also helps in the secretion of the intestinal juice. So the intestinal juice is being synthesized in the mucosa. So mucosa makes mucus, and how it is being made. So in a mucosal layer of the intestine, there is goblet cells, and this goblet cells secretes mucosa, or we can say mucus, and at the same time there are brush border cells, and that secretes or forms the juice. So the mixture of mucus which is being secreted by the goblet cell and the juice which is being secreted by the brush border cells is called the succus entericus. Okay, this succus entericus is having some sort of bicarbonates, and the function is to protect the wall of the alimentary canal, because in a whole alimentary canal there are different organs related to that, and the pH value of all these organs are different. So sometimes it is acidic, sometimes it's basic. So alimentary canals wall should be protected. So this is the role of that. At the same time it helps in the lubrication, so the food gets transferred into different parts of the alimentary canal smoothly, and at the same time this bicarbonates helps in maintaining the pH. Okay, so it was the basic things about the intestine, the juices which are being present in intestine for the digestion. But the main function, or the main thing which is remaining, is the reaction, how this helps in digestion, how it digested. So if you have remembered that when we are talking about the digestion of food in buccal cavity, we have seen that 30% of the carbohydrates are being digested in the buccal cavity. So the remaining carbohydrates comes into the intestine, and pancreatic juice will convert it into the final product. So when the polysaccharides come to the duodenal region undigested, although the salivary amylase has worked on that, but apart from that it is not being converted or digested, it comes to the duodenal region of the intestine undigested. So the amylase from the pancreatic juice, which we have talked about further, will act on it, and it will convert it into the disaccharides. So this is how polysaccharide will be converted into the disaccharides. So it will it will not convert or digest it into the monosaccharides, because this is the process of pancreatic juice only. So the digestion of disaccharides into the monosaccharides is still remaining. So we'll talk about it when we'll talk about the intestinal juice, the role of the intestinal juice in the digestion. So let it be like that the polysaccharides is digested by the pancreatic juice to the disaccharides. This is the level of digestion of the pancreatic juice. We'll talk about the lipases. So lipases in the pancreatic juice will act on lipases. Okay, so lipases in pancreatic juice will act on the fat. Fats are lipids, so lipids are the triglycerides, and which gets converted into diglycerides. And again, lipases will attack on diglycerides, and it converted into the monoglyceride. But the full digestion of fat, it's not happening here. It is just the function of pancreatic juice that it converts the lipases, it converts the fat into the monoglyceride. So the digestion of monoglycerides into the glycerol and fatty acid is still remaining, but we'll talk about it later. So now we'll talk about the nucleic acid or nucleotides. uh, as we know that it is formed by the sugar, nitrogenous bases and phosphates. And so when phosphate is being reduced by that mixture, then it is called the nucleosides. So nucleases, as we have talked about the enzymes which are present in pancreatic juice, so one of them is a nuclease. So nuclease will convert the nucleic acid into the nucleotides, and the nucleotidase, this is again another enzyme which convert the nucleotide into nucleoside. So again it is not being digested fully because it is the combination of sugar and the nitrogenous bases. So the so now we'll talk about the protein again. So as we have learnt that protein is being converted into the peptones and proteoses in the case of stomach, while we are talking about the digestion in stomach by the help of pepsin. Now those proteins, peptones and proteoses will be attacked by the trypsin, chymotrypsin and the carboxypeptidase, and it will be converted into the dipeptides. Now it's also not being completely digested, it has to be converted into the monomers. So that is the function of pancreatic juice till then. Now the intestinal juice will come into the action. So it will convert, if we are talking about the nucleoside, so nucleoside into it will convert the nucleoside into the sugar plus nitrogenous bases. Now it is properly digested. So if I am talking about the lipase, which convert the which digest the fat, so we have seen the digestion of the triglycerides into the monoglycerides. So now the intestinal lipase present in the intestinal juice will convert the monoglycerides into the fatty acid and glycerol. So it is the proper form or proper digestion form of the triglyceride or lipids. So now we'll talk about the disaccharides. So there are different kind of disaccharides. We have known that like maltose, sucrose and galactose, lactose. So by the sucrase, lactase and maltase, it is being converted into the monosaccharides. So it will be the fully digested form. After that there are the dipeptides which are being attacked by the intestinal juice, and it is being converted into the amino acid if we are talking about the digestion of the final digestion of the proteins. So that this all digestion function in the intestine will happen in the duodenal part of the intestine, and jejunum and ileum will absorb all these things. So after that the things which remain undigested and unabsorbed will transfer to the large intestine. So as we know that large intestine are having three parts. First is cecum, then colon and then rectum. So the wall between ileum and cecum will call the ileocecal wall, and it will protect the prevent the backflow of the food substances. So now the large intestine, we have talked about the digestion in the small intestine. So probably there isn't any role of digestion in large intestine, but it helps in the absorption of water, minerals and some sort of drugs, and it has mucus which helps in the proper transfer of food from cecum to colon to rectum for defecation. So it was all about the digestion and absorption process in intestine. You can say that it is the digestion process of small intestine, because mainly the digestion part in the intestine is happening in the small intestine only. So it is tricky, but it is very easy. Let me know if you are having any query.